Well, damn. It's froze up too. That might be something a little more than just low on charge. If we can initiate a defrost by jumping these pins here. And it's not initiating a defrost. So it looks that our defrost thermostat, let me pull the disconnect. Yeah, our defrost thermostat looks like it is, yeah, it's covered in ice. You can't see it here, but where those pink wires go, see that it's covered in ice. So as long as that defrost thermostat is closed, then we should be able to initiate a defrost on this thing, and it's not initiating defrost. So we got more problems than just low on charge, it looks like. So I tried to do a manual defrost, which is unplugging the condenser fan and jumping out O. But when I did that, I didn't hear a click. So I got testing. I don't have R coming out here. No R. Not sure what that's about, but we got to find out why we don't have R. We have Y, and see with these carrier units, it will bring on the outdoor unit with just a common and Y call. The R call is for everything else. A lot of units are different like that. If some units don't pass Y to the contactor, they pass R to the contactor on a heat pump application. But if you look here, I'm testing between R and common, and I have 0. Now let's test between Y and common. But between Y and common, we have 27 volts. So we've lost our R somewhere. We'll have to check that out. All right, guys, this job, for my longtime viewers, if this job looks familiar, that's because I was out here before on an electrical issue with the condensate pump. Where the condensate pump plugs in at, the outlet had no power. So they were doing renovations to the kitchen, and they disconnected some power up there, and in turn it disconnected power to the outlet down here, because the kitchen is right above there. So we're going to check and see if one of our switches is open, which would be dumb, but who knows how this thing was installed. They might have accidentally killed R to the outdoor unit instead of the thermostat, but we're going to check all that out. We'll see what happened to our R call outside. Well, guys, I don't know who installed this, but they didn't connect R going outside. And matter of fact, they just cut it off short. They cut it off right here. And when I started to pull the wire out, I blew my fuse. Now, if you're asking why I didn't disconnect the power, it's because I didn't want to risk resetting anything and me unintentionally fixing the problem before I found out what it really was. So we need to strip that wire back and connect R so we have R going outside. Oh, it's defrosting now. Now that we have the proper R call going to it, so we'll let it do its thing. I'll probably have to still do more of a manual defrost to get all this ice off there, because that's quite a bit of ice. It's all built up over here. She could still be low on charge. It's just, it's definitely needs to thaw out first. All right, she's thawing slowly but surely. A lot of ice on it. See, it's loose from the condenser. If you look here, it's loose from the condenser. It's just all got to melt off. I might start scraping it off or something. And some of it's already falling off here. I've got it to fall off, but it's a lot of ice. Definitely not the worst one I've seen, but she's pretty froze up. She's pretty froze up, guys. Little tech tip when you're thawing these out in a manual defrost, jumping O. Go ahead and jump W also, because you're gonna, if the electric heat's not calling, you're gonna be steadily blowing cold air in the customer's home. So if you're gonna do a manual defrost, might as well jump out W also. So just a little tech tip. All right, guys, we're getting there. I'm just taking a coil brush and just kind of knocking the ice off as it melts. So eventually it'll be all melted. All right, guys, well, I got it thawed out enough where I can at least initiate my leak search now. We're just going to go over everything, and with the electronic Infocon detect, see if we can see anything that stands out to us. See if she goes off anywhere. Right, before I go underneath, I'm just going to run a leak detector around out here. The reason why I'm still doing a leak search is because back in the summer we had a technician add refrigerant to it, and then we had a technician do a PM just before Christmas, and he was also saying it was low on refrigerant. So that's what we're doing here now. We're just going to check everything before we go underneath. So the freeze up was something completely different. And yeah, so we'll do a leak search out here, and then we will go underneath. All right, you see we got this fitting here that I guess on install a technician had a really hard time brazing this thing. So that's where our leak is. We're gonna get her brazed back up properly and fixed. So yep, that's where our leak was. Let's get her done. Yeah, guys, I cut that one a little bit short, but the main issue why that thing froze up like that was because there was no R going outside. And like I explained in the video, on any Carrier brand, Carrier, Payne, Bryant, they send Y outside and it goes directly to the contactor. So it does hit the board first, but that same Y call goes through any pressure switches, and that same Y call goes all the way to the contactor. On, say, a York unit, that just brings the Y call to the board, and R actually goes through the pressure switches and then to the contactor. So you got to know what you're working on there. So this unit would work. It works perfectly in air conditioning and in heat, except when it has to go into defrost. That's when it needs the R call, or the the 24 volts on R. This one didn't have that. It wasn't going into defrost. Don't ask me how that got missed on the install, but it did. But all right, guys, let's get on to the next one. Right, customer's turning up the thermostat. She's got a whining noise that she believes might be coming from the circulator. Might be coming from the burner, though. Looks like this at one point maybe was a oil burner converted to gas. Not sure. Here she comes. The circulator's on, and it's not making any noise. Thinking this might be coming from our burner. Yeah, I feel it did come on and burn. We've got a sequencer here, and I'm not sure how long the time delay is on that sequencer, but it took this burner a really long time before it fired. I don't know if the wheel in it was stuck or the sequencer just hadn't timed out. It did squeal a little bit when it first started up. I didn't catch it on camera though. Alright, so we have XX energized. Let's see on the sequencer if we have voltage. Okay, we have 28 volts on the sequencer. Let's see between here and ground, 123. Between here and ground, 123. Okay, so it's passing through. So I think this burner motor is locked up and it's just eventually starting. Because I can hear it buzzing. Yeah, I think it has power applied. It's just locked up. And it's a pretty old burner. Doesn't spin very well. That squeaking noise, you hear that, that's what she hears often. We'll see if we can clean it up. It's got a standing pilot. That's impressive. Yeah, guys, that burner motor is bad. So every once in a while it would start, sometimes it wouldn't, and it had actually quit altogether this morning. I was there Friday, so today is Tuesday. I ordered the motor Friday, and then it showed up yesterday, Monday, and I went back there today to put it in. She actually called us this morning and said it's quit altogether. Can you come soon? And we were able to move some stuff around and got her scheduled in today, the 23rd. So let's go back to put that motor on. Right. We are back a couple days later. We got a new motor for it. Surprised that I could even get this motor, but I can. So that's cool. I think this, yeah, see, she's trying to come on now. She's hot as a firecracker. Good God. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that metal band there is part of this control panel. So that whole thing should slide right off. So I can access and get the old motor off. So let's kill the power and let's get going. You can see there's like a band right there. I'll take it off with a Phillips screwdriver. As long as I can get a shorter one in there. All right, you can see here, this wire is right burnt up, but that will most likely come with the new motor. I'll have to put a new connector on it. Yeah, it doesn't come with a connector. That's okay though. So I took that transformer off and got it out of the way because the wires pass through right through this little electrical box. So we're gonna pull that off. That goes through. And then we have a couple more wires. So yeah, these wires are really degraded. So we gotta make sure we put these back the way they are supposed to go. So that's one. And then we have our red wire goes over here. Okay, that's low voltage. Must be the end switch or the centrifugal switch. Yeah, it's a centrifugal switch that lets R know that I can fire the boiler. So that red wire goes there, and the other one goes to the gas valve. All right, we got the control box off, so we just gotta get 2 1/4-inch screws out and that motor will come off. All right, we got the old one off. The pilot's still lit. And you can see my new one does not come with my air baffle, so I'll have to take that off of the old one and put it on the new one. Just noticed this new motor came damaged. That's no good. Hopefully I can get these screws off and get it straightened up. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. So I didn't say it in the video, but that was actually a pain in the ass to fix because that was bent in such a way where the micro switch that's in the centrifugal switch, it's actually a micro switch, and I should have showed it on camera, me fixing it, but I had to get that micro switch right back in the exact spot it's supposed to be in because it was bent all out of whack, and that was a pain in the ass. So I'm kind of pissed off at supplyhouse.com for sending that to me like that. I don't think I made it. I don't think I broke it, but I'm pretty sure we got it like that. But luckily I was able to fix it. But yeah, that was a pain in the ass to fix that, guys. All right, we got new motor in, got it wired up. I'm gonna try to tuck some of this wiring in there, but I'm almost to the point where I can try to fire this thing up. Actually, I gotta reconnect the thermostat wiring. I took that off because that was kind of in the way. I got everything else pretty much landed back. So let me connect that thermostat wiring and we should be gravy. Let's see what happens. Air it gets. So I'm gonna have to put the combustion analyzer on it and make sure we have this set properly. PTO is way down too, so that's good. I might try to tweak this a little further to try to get a little bit more efficiency, but my temperature is right around 408, 407. Well, it really hasn't heated up a whole lot because all the piping was cold. I might let her ride right there. And this boiler's over 40 years old, so if I can make it run at 79% efficient, then so be it. Yeah, guys, I think we're gonna let her ride right around 79% efficient. Got the air closed down pretty far, honestly. So I like it like this. Good to go. All right, guys. Yeah, so that boiler was at least 40 years old because the lady who owned the house said she had been there 40 years and the boiler was there when she got there. So it's over 40 years old. And hopefully it lasts her another 40 now. So I did give her an option of replacing the whole burner, but she shot it down, and it was really only just the motor that was bad anyway. So supplyhouse.com still had it in stock. So we got her. And matter of fact, they still manufacture that same exact burner. Yep, same exact one. So you can still get parts for it. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and I'm going to catch you guys on the next one.